Hello, my name is Zhatelier. Welcome back for another episode of Shadow Empire. In previous episode, we pushed back the enemy a bit further. Hopefully we can, this round, cut off the enemy in here and get a bit of a nice little pocket in the south. It's probably quite possible, at least, that... Oh, we actually started getting some fuel in here. Well, that's good. So we can actually keep on advancing. Let's take the metalheads, I guess both the metalheads, and attack there. There we go. That's going to be a lot of tanks lost for the enemy. Oh, yeah, there's 50 tanks that they just lost there, which is about half what they had in there. That's good. I will move the metalheads to block that. We can bring in a bit more tanks over here to help clear out this. And I suppose what I could do is I could take the... Well, you'll defend, so I'm going to send you around the corner. We got our planes in here that might actually be able to help us well, to some degree at least. We'll see how that goes, admittedly, but we'll give it a try at least. And we can... Oh, there we go. We recaptured that one. There's only a little bit tanks defending this one. But these did still not get the reinforcements. Is there something in this that is blocking it by chance? No, it shouldn't be. Oh, maybe... Oh, hold on a minute. No, it's missing one armor. I mean, I guess what I can do is I can get the replacement troops directly in here. We could technically speaking get one of these solids, to be fair. It's a bit cheaper. And there we go. It's going to have some effectiveness against enemy infantry as well. So our all-rounders and blockers could potentially clear out the enemy tanks here. Could also send in a bit of infantry to support that, to be fair, especially that one. Oh, there we go. That's a good hit.
Mission accomplished.
Destroy an entire crew. Well, I'll be it. We just capture our first location from the enemy. And we're going to move in these a bit forward in here. Oh, they've got some tanks along there. They've got the defensive stance right now, admittedly, so that might cause a bit of issues right now. We're going to move in the flak guns a bit closer. Oh, this is the garrison, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, we can at least hold the ground a little bit. We can bring in the artillery along here. Very slowly, mind you, but we can at least do that. So that's got the reinforcements. The barriers could actually get a little bit closer now. We got the flak guns in there. I guess we could just bring the barriers over here, so we'll still at least get a bit of coverage on all of that. They got a bit of tanks in here. I do wonder if we could actually just break across the river here. Maybe, but before I do that, is that one? It's just machine guns and such. I think these tanks will be sufficient. Oh, well, one of those was rendered. Destroy another one and push the rest of them away. Well, that was quite nice. I could potentially move across the river already. These cannot move any further, not this round. But the enemy tanks are still very much reeling from all the fighting that they've had to endure. I do wonder... Well, let's go ahead and use our rocket organs over here again. Range attack on this enemy artillery stack. And, well, there's a lot of tanks there as well. There we go, we got at least one kill. And then if we were to use our infantry, all the way to tanks and the infantry at least in here. All of that... we lost a little bit, troops. Some infantry, not too much, though. And we destroyed their guns and 20 tanks. So how much did we lose? Lose 200 infantry, 100 regular infantry, and 100 machine guns. But these were actually both of the older types, so they weren't actually the highest quality either. But there we go, we can get some more forward in here. These can get forward. Oh, there's a tank over there. The barriers are, well, we can move the flak guns at least a long way, and this garrison brigade as well. We've got a bit more infantry here. I don't know if I could try, or if I should try to get across the river in here. We've got the RPGs at least, but it's probably going to be a little bit tricky, or risky rather. So let's just go ahead and get the infiltration troops closer. But the question is, I suppose I could actually send it down south to help clear out that area. We've got the flak guns in here. We could, well, we've got flak guns over there as well. So we've got a lot of flak guns on this front now. Okay, well, these flak guns can actually get a little bit closer to the center here. With the air defense, they should be fairly good against enemy attacks as well, in case they're needed. I think the enemy is going to start running out of supplies here shortly, unless they got a... Well, they got a lot of air bases in here, I guess, but not too bad, I suppose. Right, so in here, I do wonder if we should build up a airfield just in case. Probably wouldn't hurt, let's be honest. We'll build an airbase, and we could also... yeah, I'm going to build a railhead in here as well. And then let's go ahead and construct a bit of a railroad. We've got plenty of metal now. At least for the time being. Oh, that means... oh, wait, no, we did already get across the mountain here, didn't we? We did. We could potentially start getting a railway from Oasis to, like, over there somewhere. Elko, so that is gonna get us a little bit closer. We don't actually... I mean, I suppose, technically speaking, we could. Elko's got a truck station, so if we were to build a railhead in there, it should be fairly simple. So that's going to allow us to get the supplies back and forth a little bit easier from the hidden village. Then, on the western front, they still got this stuff in here. They got the hold the line. I don't know if I can actually push them back quite that easily. We got a bit of tanks over here as well, which are, well, seem to be a bit low on fuel, luckily. I think there might be something trying to sneak through here again. Possibly. Not entirely sure about that one, to be fair, but we'll have a look at that. And they got some leopards over there and they hold the line. Oh, they did pull back. Okay. Now the question is, no, tanks cannot get there. They've got the barriers in here at least, so that at least provides a bit of coverage in here. And we got a road connection all the way through there. We got the artillery and the machine guns. They're quite experienced machine guns. Well, not really experienced, but quite advanced machine guns, let's put it that way. So that at least does help. So in the middle and the northern portion of the west front, we can't really do too much. They don't have anything else but over here, some troops. We did get the dragons in here now. We've got 20 dragons and 30 all-rounders. We don't really have any sort of artillery, do we? They got the artillery. They got a lot of artillery, in fact. But let's just go ahead and attack with the tanks. I think this time around we can deal a lot of damage. Or we'll take more damage as well.
Run! Run! Run!
That was another all-rounder at least. So I think it was a dragon that... Oh yeah, that got a lot of hits in there actually. And that one's another dragon as well. So yeah, we killed at least some of the man-pads. But not getting a lot of stuff through. Oh! Right, this is now snow because of the weather. So we could potentially push forward with this one. We wouldn't actually have the anti-air coverage though, which is potentially an issue. We do have the Hueys in here that could do some strikes somewhere. But that one might be a bit risky. We could try to... Actually, how far can we fly with this? Could go all the way there. And then some leopards over there in the rear. Oh, well, we got a kill. Okay, perhaps not the best results, but still destroying 10 tanks is not too bad. We've got some of the anti-tank guns over here that could potentially try to attack that. I mean, they've got very low readiness. The morale isn't all that high. A lot of line troops and machine guns and trimmer guns, and the trimmer guns aren't actually good enough to destroy this, though. Although, that being said, it's low mounted, so the defense modifier is... Oh, it's actually really bad. In the snow mount. Okay, I'll give it a try. Ooh, there we go. We got some hits with the machine guns, and we pushed it back. So we're now cutting off the supply route there. We are losing a bit of the digging bonus or entrenchment in here, which is unfortunate, but we'll just have to live with that. And now we're also starting to get a pretty good amount of recruits again, so that's really nice news for us. Some of the garrisons in there. We've got the grasshoppers in here still. I do wonder actually if we should move the grasshoppers just in here and start doing a bit more airlifting, just to get a bit more stuff flowing through. I mean, I think we might be able to start getting some supplies in here, but like a lot of these are just out of ammo right now. And also, these are still line troop 3s, oddly enough. But we got the troops in here. I suppose we... No, it hasn't gone to the next round yet, so we could move those through. That's fair. Let's double check the northwestern front here against the natives. We've got our tanks ready to attack it. Let's just clear out the enemies in the open here for now. There we go, that's 300. We destroyed one unit completely, and the other two are very low on strength now. And our tanks could probably go ahead and clear out the enemies over here trying to flank us. Well, we didn't kill any, but at least we forced them to retreat. And I could maybe move the Cooper Pluses in here just to... Well, they might try to go around a bit further. So, you know what, I'm going to pull back. If they move through here, then at least... Or if they move into this desert province, then we can at least destroy them. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot harder. I'm going to move these a little bit closer. And I suppose there's a bit less enemies over here now to worry about. So that's good. And then in the east, we've got the motorcycles now to provide a bit of cover. Ah, there we go. There's the serpents. Let's give them a bit of a hell, shall we?
Open fire! Open fire! Mission successful.
There we go. Push it back into the sea. And so is this one... This is more of the same nation over here, so we could probably push further. And they'll probably start moving in a little bit in here. But like this front has been very calm. I'm not too worried about that. How are we doing in terms of... oh, right, we're now getting a lot more energy because we've got the facilities done, or the storage done. We're still building... Right, we've got an airbase that we just started and 2 railheads. We completed the airbase in Kazoo. It's only level 1 right now. We could probably upgrade that even further, to be fair. That would be the airbase over here in Monroe. Admittedly, we do have the airbase all the way here, which is a bit damaged, admittedly. So that's going to take a few rounds probably to... Ah, it's inoperable right now due to the damage. But yeah, we're going to at least move in... Well, do we... I suppose actually we could start moving at least the Wizards over here into Monroe. The Hawks cannot move in there yet because they're light aircraft. The Ravens can't move in there. And this can't move in there either. But there we go. At least it's going to be stuff a little bit closer to the front line. And Corona, we just started building the airbase there. So that's going to be taking a while. I suppose we could at least move these helicopters in there. So they are a little bit closer to the front line. And, you know, once we get the railhead and all that in there, that will also help. So we will have some support for our troops. We do actually have quite a bit of movement. Well, I suppose this is the motorcycles, so they're not really that useful. And in the north, we are mostly probably just going to hold our ground for the moment while we get a bit more troops back. Or both of these tanker battalions back in action. And then we can start pushing along the road, most likely in here, and get to the Narrows in this area. Like, if we can capture this city of Rio, which is quite possible, actually, that we'll be able to do that. Like, sure, now, we won't be doing it immediately, but we've got a lot of tanks that we can concentrate in there and just destroy whatever they have in there, because it still only... I think it only gives the... Oh, City 1... Okay, VP 5, good to know. Oh, right, that's going to get us a bit more victory score. So how are we? We're 23 points. Athena Commune is 28 points. We're slowly getting more and more of the planet. I mean, we've got 21.7% now. So it's improving, although Athena Commune does have a lot more than we do. They've got like a 1 extra third on us. But at least the 2 that I'm fighting, I do have more than those 2 combined now. So that's good. Both in population and in terrain. Right, well, let's get to the next round. I believe we've done most of the combat for this one. So we've got the small pocket there, and the enemies have been pushed back a lot. I'm sure that they will recover some of their troops soon enough, so we won't be able to fight them forever, necessarily. Oh, they're still doing some bombing runs over there. We might have to get another set of flak guns to the northern front, or northwestern front. In fact, what I might do is get one of those automated garrisons to go for the middle, and then we can send in the anti-tank guns and all that we had there with the flak guns in the center right now to go to the north. Or something like that, anyway. Admittedly, we could take the garrison from Kathmandu to move that elsewhere, and just get our automated to one there instead. Oh, they push us back in the northeast front. Or northern flank of the Narrows. Okay, so we killed 10 tanks, we lost 500 infantry. Not ideal. Ooh, research completed, cluster bombs. An Apache 2 has been completed, and we discovered heavy siege grenadier infantry army. So they keep on adding more and more terms into the names. Right, well, let's have a look at the decisions real quick. Priorities we don't need to change. Let's see, there's atomic missile, tactical nuke, extreme vehicles, or radiation filters. I mean, we could probably go for the... You know what, actually, let's have a look at the tech tree real quick. Radiation filters would just be completed in the engineering area, which wouldn't necessarily be bad. Extreme vehicles would be, well, I don't think... Because it does unlock new vehicle types. I think there's the... No, there's the shield generator for that one. Extreme vehicles would allow... Oh, hydraulic walkers. Okay, that's a different one. But it would unlock the monitor tank as an option at least. There's a lot of planes over here that we're not necessarily going to be worrying too much about right now. The missile launcher... could be discovered, but hasn't yet to be discovered. Mechanized quad machine gun, but I think we might go for that one soon. I'm just going to quickly get the radiation filters. I'm sure that that's going to be quite cheap tech, because it's fairly early on, or unlocked fairly early on, but we haven't worried about that one. So mechanized quad machine gun, let's go for that one. We're going to go for the quad tripod assault laser rifle. Got pretty good firepower. Does take a decent bit of energy, and it's got okay... Well, I mean, I suppose the weight is actually the same on all of these. And it's a bit expensive to build, but the firepower is going to be pretty darn good. I don't think we necessarily need to have too heavy armor either. Just like 50mm polymer plating will probably do. And then we could maybe go with the heavy diesel engine, although how much is that? It's only one fuel, okay.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Roger that, sir.
We'll go for that one. But they did push us back over here, didn't they? Yeah, this one got pushed back. I mean, it was in the open, admittedly. So I'm not really surprised by that one. Let's go ahead and move in a bit more infantry. Well, actually, what's that? That's some tanks in there. I got our whizzers over there. I don't know if they are going to be able to do much, but we can now move this tank closer. I suppose that one's, yeah, that's not too heavily armed there. So let's go ahead and clear that with the tanks. There we go. That's 20 tanks destroyed and a specialist. Could even attack again there, but I don't think we're going to do that quite yet. We might send in a bit of infantry over here and a bit of infantry over there. We might be able to send in some infantry to cover the flank here as well. This one might get attacked, so I'm a bit worried about that one. Maybe we should just pull back for now. We did lose a lot of infantry overall. But I guess, well, let's have a look at the battles real quick. So where did we lose and what? Over here there was an airstrike, but we didn't lose any on that one. Over here they lost some tanks, and that's the infantry that we lost. Okay, so it was 300 infantry GI3s and then RPG, or 200 RPG3s. So neither one of those is the top line unit, actually. And they tried to do another airstrike on our infantry in the north of Ansung. So yeah, we'll just get some reinforcements real quick. So replacement troops, 400 infantry. I didn't realize we needed 400 though. But sure, we'll do that. And then the machine guns. And some RPGs. Where do we have those machine guns? Oh, hold on a minute. I don't actually know where we lost those earlier, but we must have taken some losses earlier then. That's alright. So that should be all the reinforcements required. Now we should have that. Yes, we got that one. So how about we start transferring some more troops in here? Can we move all of these? No. Next round. But at this stage, I suppose it would be easier to just... First of all, I'm going to upgrade this one. I'll just go with the GI3s for this headquarters. It's going to be a bit more survivable, but it's not going to be too bad. There's a bit of line troops in here still, but these are the old units, I guess. Although, actually, could I upgrade... Well, I suppose this is still part of the first SHQ, I believe. Although now we could... let's have a look at the unit admin. Change HQ to be the second. There we go. So in theory, now if we were to do upgrades, it would be taking stuff from second HQ. Ah, right. I could probably go for the GI3s, because we don't have rare metal production in here yet. And that's at least going to provide some more troops in there that are worthwhile the effort. There we go. And then I guess these might be... Oh, actually, we have gotten some supplies into these now. Good. Probably upgrade these as well. Not going to be the best of troops, but it is going to be at least more troops in general. That's kind of all that matters right now. How much can we store? Okay, we can have up to 800 industrial points in here, so that's still going to be good enough for a long while. We also got quite a bit of fuel that we are, well, clearly not storing enough. I suppose that's one of the things that I could try doing. How much do we have population available here? Not massive amounts. But let's say if we were to construct a fuel depot in here, that's going to allow us to store another 1,000 fuel. It's also going to cost us a little bit of resources. Not a massive amount of workers, luckily. That'll be good. So now I believe there's 4 cities in this one tiny island. And we've got... Right, we did not upgrade this one to level 2 yet, did we? No, I'm pretty sure we did not. No, it's level 1. That one's getting slowly fixed. We could maybe upgrade that to level 2 so we can just send in the proper planes over here soon. And then they'll be able to assist with the narrows here quite easily. That's probably a good idea. So let's go ahead and start upgrading that. Airbase will upgrade that. And what do we have over here? We had the supply base, so we might want to get a truck station over here as well. It's going to cost us a little bit of workers and all that. I suppose actually what I could do is just send a bit of workers directly to Kazuraptor to help with that. And now how's the enemy doing over here in the pocket? They are running a little bit low on supplies. Actually, we do have our grasshoppers in here. Question is, do we have the range to do... Well, no, not really. It's a bit too far off. Because what we could do is just do a bit of an airstrike over here. Maybe on those troops. Oh, well, they sent all the Thopters in there. Got a little bit more intel on them. But not quite enough. 275. I believe we needed, what, 500? Not 500. 400 and something. 452 for the full info. Admittedly, we've got some all-rounders in here that could probably just wreck them anyway. So these are defeat in detail. Minus 30%. Oh, wow. Alright, I think that might be the wrong choice there, pal, but I'm not going to stop you. Oh, they destroyed some infantry and some tanks. Oh, they're surprisingly well holding there. We pushed them back, though. Lost a bit of tanks and a bit of infantry, but we can move in. And now these are surrounded. And we got another airfield as well. Is this a level 1? Yeah, it's a level 1. Okay. So I guess this one's going to require a little bit of reinforcements. So I suppose what we'll do is we'll order those directly. To make sure that it's not the wrong type. And we get a pretty good amount of fuel stockpile as well, so that's good. I guess that means that we'll have a little bit more, or slightly better fuel situation overall. Did we? We did not do a range attack with these yet, actually. Oh, we can fix that, of course. No hits. Well, we got one hit, but no kills, rather. I'm going to send in a bit of, you know what? The tanks will probably hold this one. Got a bit more air guns in here. I don't actually want to send in troops there yet. What do they have? There's a lot of infantry and all other things in there. Could use some metalheads to first clear out this stack here. Yeah, that seems to be going rather well, actually. Let's see, that's 70 tanks. Pretty decent for 0 losses for us. I'm not going to move all of these away, but we could maybe move... These got a bit more readiness. I'm going to move these across the river. Now, we'll send some of these tanks across as well, and let's go ahead and just attack with these two. Destroy whatever tanks they have on the crossroad. There we go, there's another 20 tanks destroyed. So we cut off the supply line. Well, it's not fully cut off the supply lines, but that is probably going to force them to retreat a little bit. Because we could use these all around. Well, there's a lot of infantry in there, which are, well, relatively well dug in. Honestly, the best situation for them. What about these grenadiers? They've got quite a bit of hit points, heavy combat armor, they've got the Gauss rifle, which isn't necessarily the best against our tanks, but they are still going to be able to deal a lot of damage overall. I'm going to move in some of the infantry in here, actually, so we could potentially move in the metalheads across the river soon. We're going to just hold that for now. We've got the air guns over here guarding that. We're going to need a bit more reinforcements on some of the units as well. We could potentially try to attack in here, but I suppose we do have the artillery. Let's get those into the mountains, so they'll at least be in a bit better location to defend, but also be able to rain some fire on the tanks. Admittedly, since it's just artillery, well, there's 10 AG3s and then 40 AG2s, which the attack values are still quite small, all things considered. We could probably move the headquarters for the tanks a little bit closer. We moved these over already. We did have a look at the western front, I believe. We did. Oh, but I forgot about getting the garrison from here. Let's do a quick strategic movement up to there. Then what I can do is I can next round move it in there. So that's going to start providing a bit of air coverage for the northern troops, which clearly is needed right now. Oh, they brought a bit of artillery. They're currently on the hold the line focus again. We could probably just use these two to give them a bit of hell. We'll probably take some casualties, although not by the looks of it all that much necessarily. There we go, that's another 20 guns destroyed. There we go, we're getting some more troops in here. We do have our artillery, but again, these are old artillery pieces, so I don't think it will be able to deal much, if any, damage against them. Got a bit of anti-tank guns, or anti-tank infantry, rather, in here. Then in the central front, I mean, we could maybe start moving a little bit closer. Get 2 of these to start digging in. If need be, we could maybe unlock or open the road so we can bring in our blitzers there. Admittedly, these blitzer 3s aren't necessarily the best of tanks to fight against the enemy, medium tanks especially, but it's better than nothing. And over here, they've kind of abandoned that area. I don't know if I should push forward, though. Oh, there's no one there. Get to the higher point, I guess. So there's a city. They might have someone trying to outflank us over there, although that might just be leftover from earlier, which is probably the case. That reminds me, these can't actually go in here. And that hasn't really moved, so I think we're fine in that regard. Then, we could probably start clearing out... Oh, right, these are the metalheads. Let's clear out the enemy stack over here. It's not really that many enemies necessarily in there, although it seems like, well, at least 500 total, but we've, of course, destroyed quite a few of those. We can send this around the side. We got the infantry there. We go. Ooh, let's go ahead and try clear out the sort of northern flank first with the all-rounders. Oh, that's another 200 destroyed at least. Oh, right, then I pushed them all the way there. I didn't realize that. But that's fine. We can slowly but surely destroy them all around there, so that's good. I really hope that Bruderland doesn't declare war on us. We're still in a bit of a old relations with them, but they haven't declared war, so I guess that's a good sign. And then in Ansung, we've got the supplies at least for these troops. We've started digging in fairly well, so I think we are going to be able to hold this fairly easily now, especially since we're getting some of the reinforcement across the waves there. And then I suppose after that it should be quite easy to hold on to the front line here. We're going to have like 3 siege infantry, we're going to have the motorcycles over here in the central, so we can at least get a bit of intel, and we can have 1 over here guarding this city, and then 1 as a reserve somewhere in here. I'm not entirely sure where exactly, but like we can at least keep them at bay. And now we should be starting to use some of the ammunition and food and all that from the second SHQ. Right, I suppose we still got 1 front line that we haven't really paid attention this round, and it's down here. So we have not gained all the reinforcements in yet. All of that. We could potentially move these closer. You know what? I'm going to take the risk. Use up a lot of infantry. But if we can destroy a lot of the enemy troops in here, push them back, especially destroy the artillery, that's going to be helping a long way. There we go. So we lost 10 tanks. That's actually the only thing that we lost. And these were the older all-rounders still, so... Slowly but surely, we are getting reinforcements, or replacing a lot of these tanks, I guess. And bring the air guns a bit closer. Now they're having to do the usual, let's build a road around things. So, let me just double check the replacement troops. So, I believe we need now 30 armor total. Okay, I'm just gonna get another 20 dragons. That'll probably be good enough. Potentially we could move these further south as well, but I don't necessarily want to have any troops quite yet neighboring the city. I'd rather try to encircle them first, but of course we don't have the troops for that. Although we are starting to have a pretty good amount of recruits again, so we could potentially get another brigade. Maybe just infantry, like, I think some of the infantry, like, maybe just this, oh, this is the light infantry 2 battalion with the RPGs. I mean, that's worked fairly well, I suppose. Some scouts probably wouldn't hurt either, or recon troops wouldn't hurt either in here. Just to get a bit more information on what's in there. But overall, I think in the not too distant future, we'll have this city cut off. We can capture it, hopefully, and then we can start keeping them on the other side of the mountain range completely. And of course, well, over here it might still be a bit of tricky. But overall, at least, we are taking a bit of ground from them. Not massive amounts of anything, admittedly. We've cut off the enemy over here in the east into a small pocket now, which should start running out of supplies soon. And in a round or 2, we should be able to start clearing out completely. And then, of course, there's a bit of problems for the enemy in here, near the crossroads, so I guess this one's probably going to start pulled back. Let's get to the next round. Oh, there's a bit of artillery strike. We actually lost some infantry. I guess we didn't have the full entrenchment now, since we've been trying to push them back. Now, admittedly, my hope is kind of that Athenian Commune and Hochstein are fighting one another over here in northern Ansung. So we can just let them spend their forces on one another, and we'll just clean up what is left. We did lose a bit of infantry on them trying to get back to the airfield. And they are starting to bring in a bit more troops. I think it's a lot more infantry now that they're bringing in. So we got 100 infantry, lost 200. Not great. Ooh, more fuel discovered in Kazoo. It's probably in the newly conquered areas. And industrial robotization, so we can get even more industrial points from our industries. At least that. I don't know if it's also going to affect everything else from the industry, admittedly. And we completed the radiation filters. We discovered robotic soldier. Recent advances in AI will allow us to design and research robotic infantry, which solve any worries you might have about manpower shortages. That could be quite handy. Oh yeah, robotic soldier right there. Ah, it's only regular infantry. Ah, right, okay. I mean, it's still pretty decent, I suppose. Right, but we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also got links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.